It happened, folks. It officially happened. BRICS has expanded. The world is forever changed, okay? Now, what I'm about to tell you, no one in the Western press is talking about, okay? They are ignoring this to the best of their ability because they understand just how detrimental this news is to Western hegemony and American unipolarity. How detrimental and dangerous it is to those in Wall Street, those in the City of London, those at the Federal Reserve, those who control our country, okay? Because what just happened is incredible. The BRICS grouping, which is currently comprised of Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, just expanded in a big way for the first time, bringing in a whole host of new countries, including Argentina, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, the United Arab Emirates, and Ethiopia, which means that now BRICS not only is larger than G7, but also BRICS now controls 80% of the world's global oil production supply, and they make up 6 of the top 10 oil producing countries in the world. This is huge. This is world changing. No wonder they're ignoring this in the Western press. Let's break down what happened, okay? So first of all, Russian Foreign Minister spokeswoman Maria Zakharova stated that all Western attempts to derail the BRICS summit in Johannesburg, South Africa have been unsuccessful. I would say that is a more than fair assessment of the events that unfolded after the past few days, because it was a very successful summit, okay? Now, here's a family photo of the everyone who gathered at BRICS, all the diplomats, delegations, heads of state. Of course, you can see here the main 5 are Xi Jinping, you have Brazil's Lula da Silva, you have Iran's Ibrahim Raisi, you have Narendra Modi from India, you have Cyril Ramaphosa from South Africa, you have Sergei Lavrov representing the Russian Federation because Putin was not allowed to come. And you have the new Ethiopian Prime Minister. And you also have Dilma Rousseff here. And notably, we have the leader of Indonesia, who is not accepted in this round of the BRICS summit. So let's break down what happened, okay? Because this is a huge event, okay? BRICS has revealed 6 new members, okay? Argentina, Egypt, Ethiopia, Iran, Saudi Arabia, and the United Arab Emirates are joining the BRICS group of nations after their candidacies were approved on Thursday by leaders of the current member states. The 6 newcomers will become full-fledged members starting January 2024. The club currently consists of Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa, okay? Here is a statement from South African leader Cyril Ramaphosa. We value the interests of the other countries in building a partnership with BRICS. We've tasked our foreign ministries to further develop the BRICS partners country model and a list of prospective partner countries, okay? And this is who they brought in. So huge congratulations to everyone involved. The petrodollar is effectively dead now that Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates are part of this, okay? But I want to list this because I want to make a point here. The fact that these countries were the ones selected for the first round of BRICS expansion, it couldn't have been more perfect, okay? And I guess technically South Africa was the first expansion, but that's just one country. This is the full fully fledged expansion of BRICS. The countries that they selected, it couldn't have been better. I was so excited when I saw these countries. I was going to bed and I was like, oh my God. Wow, okay, now let me tell you why I got so excited, okay? Here are the reasons why I got so excited. First of all, Argentina, they are indebted to the IMF. They were initially posturing as if they weren't even going to attend the BRICS summit. They were saying, we're going to dick around with the IMF and the US and, we're going to continue to be a slave to the US. They were saying they weren't even going to entertain this BRICS summit. Now they're out here, they're joining BRICS. Okay, huge. IMF indebted nation says, to hell with the IMF, we're joining BRICS, the new development bank. Saudi Arabia, the de facto leader of OPEC Plus, okay, couldn't get any more base than Saudi Arabia joining, all right? So, personally, this is actually really makes me hopeful for an American, because that there's anything that would hopefully challenge our government to rethink our economy and the state of the dollar and the Federal Reserve, it would be something like this happening. This is a slap in the face wake up call. Saudi Arabia, a nation that we of course have had long-winded, ups and downs of historic relations with, but nonetheless, a very vital interest for the United States in this region of the world. The de facto OPEC plus leader basically controls oil output levels within OPEC. This is the end of the petrodollar as we know it, okay? Egypt, they received $80 billion in U.S. foreign aid since 1978. Egypt, okay, they are the, I believe they're the second or third annual highest recipient of U.S. foreign military aid, all right? It's usually Israel, Egypt, and who else is it? I'm blanking right now, but it's usually like Israel, Egypt, and someone else, Jordan. So yeah, so Egypt is the second largest recipient of U.S. foreign military aid over the past however many, years, decades, whatever. They've received $80 billion in U.S. foreign aid since 1978. Of course, Ukraine is now number one, but for years it was Israel, then Egypt. They have joined BRICS. All right, the UAE. I mean, we practically built this, this monarchy, whatever you want to call it. UAE, United Arab Emirates. We've had very long-standing close relations with them. We are the third country to recognize the UAE, and then Iran. Iran is the dark horse in all of this, and I love Iran for a number of reasons. I think it's a great country, great leadership, and Iran is, they have been such a target of the U.S. deep state for so long. Mike Pompeo, John Bolton, they just want Iran to crumble. And Iranian leadership has, stood tall in the face of it all. Sanctions, bombing of Qasem Soleimani, threats from jihadi factions backed by the U.S., Al-Qaeda, ISIS, be it in Syria, Iraq, Jaish al-Islam, Hayat Tahrir al-Sham. Iran is a great country, and not only are they a great country, they are one of the top producers of oil worldwide. So that actually leads me into my second reason for loving what just took place. Oh, I forgot. So that was the initial statement I put out. I saw later on that Ethiopia was also accepted in tandem with these states. So Ethiopia, also second African country brought in this wave of expansion behind Egypt. So now you have South Africa, Ethiopia, and Egypt, who are all a part of BRICS. You have three African nations. So that is big as well. Okay. Now, why do I love this even more than for the reasons that I have already listed? Well, BRICS Plus, with the expansion announced today, now includes 6 of the top 10 oil-producing countries in the world. 6 of the top 10. That is absolutely incredible. 6 of the top 10. Okay. Not only do they have 6 of the top 10 oil-producing countries in the world, they have 3 of the top 5 oil-producing countries in the world, all right? So let's break down this list. The world's top oil producers today are the United States, which is a G7 member state, Saudi Arabia, which is now a BRICS member state. Number 3 is Russia, which is a BRICS member state. Number 4 is Canada, which is a G7 member state. Number 5 is China, BRICS member state. Number 6 is Iraq, which is neither, but definitely aligned with BRICS, but not a part of BRICS. Number 7 is the UAE, BRICS member. Number 8 is Iran, BRICS member. Number 9 is Brazil, also a BRICS member. So the vast majority of global oil production is now definitively controlled by BRICS and BRICS allies. 7 of the top 9 are BRICS and BRICS allies, okay? Just Canada and the United States are G7 member states on that list, okay? So that is a huge blow to the West, okay? BRICS now controls directly through their members 80% of global oil production, with the admission of the UAE, Iran, and Saudi Arabia. It's just world-changing, okay? And you have leaders like Lula saying that we are calling for abandoning the dollar and trade between BRICS countries. Iran's leader, Ibrahim Raisi, the president of Iran, he came out today and said Iran supports efforts of BRICS and de-dollarization as well. And of course, we had some further statements from Vladimir Putin today as well. Let's take a look at that. Vladimir Putin spoke at the BRICS summit about varying subjects. So let's see what he had to say. I must emphasize that, as it turned out, this was not an easy task, and President Ramaphosa showed remarkable diplomatic skill in reconciling all positions, including those related to the expansion of BRICS. Just now, our Brazilian colleague, President Lula da Silva, highlighted some of the most important points for us all. Among them, I would certainly emphasize the issue of a single reserve currency. He goes on to state, it's a complex issue. However, one way or another, we will move forward to address these issues. Secondly, this pertains to facilitating financial transactions between our nations. In the area of economic activity, I'd like to congratulate our new members who will be fully engaged in the coming year. And I would like to assure all colleagues that we will continue the work we have started today to expand the influence of BRICS around the world. By this, I mean establishing practical cooperation with the new members of the organization, and with those working the BRICS sphere as our outreach partners who, in one way or another, are committed to engaging with our organization and want to work with us. We are approaching this with great attention and deep respect. We will undoubtedly refine this effort. We will, of course, discuss with all partners how to orchestrate efforts, though these joint discussions at the level of foreign ministers and other ministries, we will create the appropriate framework to ensure that the role and importance of BRICS in the world continues to grow. Thank you very much. So those are Putin's statements on the events that unfolded today. Very clear. He was happy to see this expansion. And also, from what I heard from my sources that were at BRICS, the issue of the single reserve currency for BRICS did come up. It is quite apparent that this is going to be one of, if not the main focus for next year's BRICS summit. They didn't want to jump into it too quickly, cause instability for a project that is undoubtedly going to take much preparation, further building up of national currencies between these BRICS member states, and also focusing on the integration of this new